I was very lucky to be born in a crazy place. It's called Tiksi, a small town in Russia. It influenced me, I think, in everything. This place is very empty. It's tundra and the ocean. People who live there are very sensitive to the light and to the colors because you don't get much of it. When they see color, it's like a new sensation. My childhood was really magical. We were just kind of living in this ideal world, in this bubble, far away from everything. I went to university in Moscow studying management. Very soon I realized that I don't want to work in the office, and I went to ICP. Changed completely, of course, my life. I learned that it's okay to be a photographer, and there is a whole world around it, and for sure I wanted to belong there. More and more, I was coming back to the memories of my childhood. I felt almost physically how I'm losing this childish awe. It was just a little bit of this left in me, and I felt like it's shrinking day by day, you know, and I needed to photograph it while it's still there, a little bit at least. I decided to go to Tiksi. I haven't been there for 19 years. Because of photography, there is a reason for me to come back. And I saw this girl, she was throwing stones in the sea with her mother. And she invited me to her birthday. So I come in her apartment and I'm seeing the same things that we used to have. Through her, I can leave these memories again. She slowly started to teach me how to be a kid again. Sometimes she would tell me, oh, we have to go to this playground made of matches. I'm like, okay, that's interesting, let's go, show me. We were really collaborating on this project. So when she will be older, she can remember how she was a kid in this town in the middle of nowhere. So now when I look at this project, it's kind of a reminder of my child self. When it was over, I felt that I lost something because I'm not gonna be like this ever again. For the last 3 years, I always had to be somewhere photographing. And I'm realizing that I'm always in somebody else's life, and I'm starting to actually lose the sense of what is my life. When I come back to the Arctic, I feel more whole. It's very calm, and I actually can stop and breathe for a moment. This man lives in a peninsula called Ruski Zavorod, and it's very small, and you can walk from one shore to another shore very easily. He is a chief of the meteorological station. His work is to measure the speed of wind, temperature, pressure. All meteorologists around our planet, they call to the centers. That's how you know if you need to bring umbrella or not when you come out from your New York apartment.
Батон 15, батон 23. Погоду у нас взяли? Да, взяли. Все добро, спасибо.
I arrived with this sense of adventure. But then, after 1 week, I had this dark melancholy. Outside, there is like this massive wind going like... With this wind, there is this sound of the ice cracking in the sea. And it's just so heavy. You're like in the emptiness, in the dark hole. I knocked on his door and said, "Can I have a tea with you? You know, how can you live here every day? It's the same thing." And he said, "Well, that's because you have too much expectations. And when you don't have any expectations, it's much more easy." And then he said, "Every day is not the same here. Today we saw this phenomenon of the thin ice covering the water. And I felt so guilty that I was looking so much inside myself and not so much outside." From that moment on, all my depression disappeared. I just became eyes. And I learned from him how to really see the slightest changes in the weather, the slightest changes in the water, ice and snow, stars and clouds. There is a meteo booth where they keep all the thermometers. He opened it, and then all of a sudden the northern lights started to explode in the sky. And I had a feeling that he actually turned it on. He became this weather magician. I never met anybody like him. When he talks, he means every word he says. Because there, every move you make, you do for survival. I just want people to know that he exists in his constant contemplation of nature. But more than anything, I wanted to experience this myself.